the lovely mama sitting right next to me, hey you,
Hi.
is Rachel Blumenthal, the founder of Rockets of Awesome, and she's going to share all the awesomeness and time saving that she has created in her company right now. So park it right here and join us for a new Hustle Like a Mom chat coming your way. All right, mamas, before we dive into all the awesomeness about you as a mom, an entrepreneur, and a thought leader, because I definitely think of you, Rachel, as a thought leader, for the moms out there who don't know what rocketsofawesomeis.com, please do share the awesomeness. I'm going to say that word a lot today, by the way.
It's very easy to say.
Yeah.
It's hard not to say it. Rockets of Awesome is the coolest kids brand for kids apparel. So we make it super easy for parents to find high quality, high style, very accessibly priced kids clothes. Make it super easy to mix and match and make awesome outfits. And we deliver it completely seamlessly to your home.
So my kids have been awesomely absorbing and wearing the clothing for 2 years. I also have to say the boxes that they come in are super fun because you can open them up and color in them. So mama gets like a good, anywhere from 10 to 45 minutes of free time as a bonus. So
Which sounds like nothing, but for a mom, 10 minutes is like golden.
Are you kidding? I can use the facilities in 10 minutes. I could do my makeup in 10. I can probably cook something in 10 minutes. So that's great. So tell me, how did you come up with the concept for Rockets of Awesome? What was the aha moment?
Yeah, well, I realized that my kids were growing, and as a new parent, what was most shocking to me was that every single season I was replacing an entire dresser full of clothes. And so I wanted to create a brand that spoke to the mom, knew that we were sophisticated, educated, savvy moms, and not sort of like the uncool scarlet letter mom that was like sort of the 80s and the 90s. We're still cool here. And deliver her a really accessibly priced, high style product line in a really easy manner. And one in which your kids were begging for. One where the clothes are soft, they're cozy, and they're super excited about wearing them.
Now you are a serial entrepreneur, so Rockets of Awesome is not your first time at the rodeo. You had a very successful jewelry line, Rachel Lee,
Yep.
Which you sold out or licensed out. You licensed it out.
Yeah, I licensed about 7 years ago. I started when I was 24, so I knew nothing. I had no business starting a business, but I had an opportunity and an idea, and I just sort of went for it. And I think that my greatest learning from building that jewelry company was that when an opportunity presents itself, you should always explore it, and it's okay to not have the answers. It's okay to not know how to do something. It's really about asking questions, learning, and not taking no for an answer, and having a defined point of view of what you want to do, and doing everything in your power to run through every single door and wall and window to make it happen.
So Griffin, your eldest, is now 7.
Yep.
Gemma
Yep.
is 3. What is it like to now manage this business with a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old? Because you've been an entrepreneur basically since your early 20s. What is it like now?
I actually don't think that I could have built and ran this company if I didn't have children. I think that living and breathing, being a mom, having kids every single day, seeing what they complain about with clothes, seeing what they get really excited about, is the number one inspiration for this business and for this product line. They are the best testing ground. They give it to me. They give it to me real. They tell me what they love, what they hate.
Do they come in here, or do you guys bring in the kids, other people's kids that work here, and do they come and comment and say, what they're thinking about the new season before you launch it?
We do. We bring in focus groups of kids, and we say, what fabrics do you like? What graphics do you like? What patterns do you like? And it's so funny to listen to what they respond to. Girls are definitely much more articulate than the boys are, but they have opinions, and they're very clear, and they start as little as 2 or 3 years old. and they continue to get
opinions.
more opinionated. And again, this brand isn't about let's create clothes that mom loves. It's let's create clothes that moms and the kids love. The kids have to feel empowered. They have to feel like they're in control and they're making the decision. And so the idea is that if we can create product that the mom loves, that she feels, I'm good with this, whatever you pick within this range, I'm going to be proud of, then the kids feel in control, and that's where the magic happens.
Now, speaking of magic and entrepreneurial magic, what skill set have you learned from your mom life that now sort of embody or help you be a better entrepreneur?
I think it's all about prioritization, and it's probably more that as a parent you have less time, right? And so you can't obsess over and nitpick every last thing. You have to decide where you're going to pick and choose and call your shots. And I think that parents are probably the best leaders, the best entrepreneurs, the best employees, because they don't have all the time in the day. They have to get in, get it done, and get out. And that's incredibly important for me every single day, is how do I prioritize my time so that I can have as much as having, you can never have it all, but
Right.
you can have most.
If you had an extra hour in the day, what would you do? I know, it's like, oh my God, what would I do
I
first?
would probably just sit silently in a room and do nothing. I'd be so grateful.
Tell me that you do not value the value of nothing. Just nothing.
For the days that my husband does drop off and there's 10 minutes alone in my apartment where there's just silence, there's nothing greater.
I know. So what I do sometimes is if I have anybody helping me and they're about to leave, I'll say, oh, I need to go to the ladies' room. I don't need to go. I literally would just close myself off in the bathroom and breathe.
Yeah.
Like away.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys can relate to that. But I like that. The value of nothing has so much value now as a mom. Now, let's talk about you as a woman and as a mom. What is your must-do for yourself, for your own health and for your own wellness? Maybe it's something you do every day, or something that you do on a Sunday to kickstart the week.
I definitely take care of myself. I do acupuncture once a week.
How is that? Is it good? Do you feel the difference?
It is the most relaxing thing on the planet, but I get a lot of migraines, and so it's a way for me to sort of take care of my migraines. And then I love getting a manicure. And I will often get a manicure while I'm on a conference call, while I'm having a meeting with somebody. I'll take my daughter. That's our time to hang out together. But
I started doing that.
A manicure.
I take her while I know he's still in daycare, but she's already out of school, and I'm like, hey, mommy's going to get a manicure. Does your daughter get manicures? Because that's a hot button discussion. And my daughter's 5.5. It's still a very hot button discussion in our house.
She does. She's super girly and really into it, and I like that it's something fun that we can do together. I don't look at it as sort of over-sexualizing a child or being too glamorous. She gets crazy colors on her nails. Every day is like a rainbow with sparkle and then. But I think it's just sort of a fun bonding moment for the two of us. And God, I hope when she's a teenager, she wants to still do it with me, right? I can only hope.
That's the thing about parenting. It's sometimes we'll complain about the moments that are happening right now, but as every, what you said, as every mother who's a little bit older than us and has the kids who are older, oh, you will be so sorry when they don't want you in the morning, when they don't want you to drop them off, when Mom, you please stay 2 blocks away. Yeah. So I'm always mindful. And by the way, speaking of mindfulness, how do you stay mindful in the moment when you're with the kids in your mom job? Because that's a job. And then how do you flip the switch to function better here in your, by the way, we're in the amazing Rockets Awesomeness offices. Just wanted to let you guys know where we are. So how do you stay mindful with your coworkers and then with your kids, or also your colleagues, I guess?
So I live and breathe my Google Calendar, and for me, home time is very focused on the kids, and work is very focused on work. And so I don't do well. My kids will come into the office and hang out from time to time, but for very discrete purposes and time periods. I can never be successful in a work environment if my kids were just sort of hanging around around and I could poke in and say hi to them.
But that's truth.
I have to be very focused. And so I have so few hours at home with them when they're awake that I really try to dedicate that time to them. I'm not on my phone unless I'm like taking video and Instagramming them, but I'm not checking my email, I'm not texting, and then the minute they go to sleep, I'm back on. I think it's those moments where you try to do too much at the same time. You just feel mediocre about everything, right?
Absolutely.
And so you have the guilt of, I'm not giving enough to my kids, I'm not giving enough focus, I'm not giving enough to work. And I think that's why, for me, the only way I figured out how to work is to be a little more rigid about it. And it's like, it's work time or it's family time.
So like, you're like separating the jobs.
I literally put on my calendar, like, be at home to do homework with Griffin.
And that's it.
And that's it. And that is sort of that hour and a half slot every single night where we're doing homework together and nothing else. And then I could schedule a call after, but that's what we're doing at that moment.
I often now, my whole, like, all of my stuff that I do, it's always about like time-saving tips and like, but I realize that multitasking is tasking nothing.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's, yes, you can do mindless, like, getting your nails done and on a call, right? You're not really doing anything. But I agree with you wholeheartedly that it's extremely hard. So if you're out there and you have like a business idea, it is very hard to get it off the ground with little kids all around you all the time because your mind's just not in the zone.
Yeah, I think it's so important, you know, if you have an idea of something that you want to do, to really set time for yourself and say, you know, every day from 12 to 2 when they nap, or every afternoon I'm going to hire a babysitter and I'm going to go out from, you know, 2 to 5 p.m. and that's going to be my time where whether I sit at a Starbucks with my headphones on or I go to a WeWork or the Wing, and that is my time where I'm only focused on this idea that I want to execute.
Before we let you go, of course, any other awesome secret sauce tips for any mom out there that has a business idea that wants to create a brand? Because I just feel like, and I implore all of you to further Google her, because I think your story and what you've done in the tech space for women, also just raising capital, and I know not all of you need to raise capital, but I would love for you to share your secret sauce with the mamas out there, because a lot of women have great ideas, and I think that some of them just want ways to figure out how to, you know, take it off the ground.
Yeah, so I guess 3 things. One, I would share your idea with as many people as physically possible. I think that entrepreneurs are always nervous about sharing their idea because someone's going to steal it. And the reality is that there's no original idea in the world. It's really about the execution. So share your idea. Get lots of feedback, even from people that you don't think will have an opinion on what you're doing, because that feedback is going to be critical to figuring out really how to refine your idea. The second being is don't get overwhelmed by the right way to do it or how to start. Just start somewhere. You know, if you're like, I want to do a kids clothing brand, and you know your instinct is about the clothes, start with the clothes and start somewhere, and don't let anything get in your way. Just start to check the boxes in your list and don't necessarily worry about the order in which you do it, because I think what paralyzes us is where to start, because there's so many places you could possibly start. And the third being is that it's critically important to be different in this world. And I think that across every single category, whether it's a startup or it's a well-established business, there's so much of the same. There's so much of, well, it's like this, but a little different. And there's nothing more important than being differentiated and being really clear to the consumer in the market of why this brand versus that brand. Whether that is your name, that is your logo, that is your color palette, that's your brand equity, that is your narrative and your story. If everyone is going here, go over there and go as far as physically possible, because that's what separates you from everybody else in the market, and that's what's memorable.
I mean, I love that you ended on memorable, because this woman is extremely memorable. I thank you so much for sharing your hustle, your mom life, your entrepreneur life, and most importantly for keeping it real. Ladies, she's awesome. I hope you guys check out Rockets of Awesome, because it's a super time saver. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, mamas. Have a hustle kind of day, your own special way.